Going through the news wires today. This is just a side story. I thought it was a great story. But a 5-year-old boy was able to shoot down, in Texas, by the way, out of Houston, an 800-pound alligator. Now, all you people that want to disarm the American public, if this child did not have a firearm, guess what? That 800-pound alligator probably would have eaten him. So there are many reasons to arm yourself. It's our Second Amendment right. And, Peter Dale Scott alluded to it. When peaceful protest is gone in this country, what do we have left? Well, Jack McLam out there will tell you, we got the voting box and we've got the cartridge box. And I really sincerely hope it never comes down to that cartridge box. All right, let's go to your calls. Stephen in Texas. Stephen, you're on the line. Yes, sir.
Hey, good afternoon, Jason. Great show.
Thank you.
Okay, first of all, I'm follow up on what I was telling you about yesterday. When I called out there to Hardin, I talked to a lady in City Hall. She said there wasn't anybody available from the City Council, but I specifically asked her, and this is one thing I really think needs to be pushed, because, okay, we're investigating who is this Michael Hilton, who's the parent company, all that, and that's all important. But I think the biggest issue, and this is what I asked her about, I said, I understand that this is a detention center. I said, who are they planning on detaining? Who are they going to have, for detention? She would not answer my question. And, now they're saying, no, this isn't a Guantanamo type deal. Well, they're right. It's not. It's for me and you. And if you think about it, I thought it was really strange that Becky Shea actually took Alex inside the facility. Why would they do that when this is obviously a FEMA camp? I'll tell you what I believe personally. Mm-hmm. Number one, okay, try to quell the crowds and their, uproar about this. But I think, secondly, this was a psych job that they were trying to do on Alex, and you can ask him about this, where they're sending him a subtle message saying, Mr. Jones, welcome to what will ultimately be your home.
Well, let's hope that that's not the case, but I do see where you could come to that conclusion. And I thought it was very bizarre that they had that sign about the hostages outside of the premises that we read earlier on the show today. If you saw the local news report, and we're going to be playing that in an upcoming segment, along with the Pittsburgh video of them just gassing students who are on campus watching from a balcony. Believe it or not, I mean, it's there. We can't deny it. And I sincerely hope you're wrong, but when you have foreign mercenaries coming into this country who are multiple felons about to train other foreign mercenary and military groups, we have to ask these questions. And by the way, again, we have to find out about this Richard Culver fellow. Is he really Michael Hilton's boss? What has he done since he left as a colonel of the U.S. Army? What are his connections? Who owns American police force, which is neither American nor a police force? The hole deepens, the mystery deepens, and we need answers. I thank you for the call, Stephen. As always, let's go to Betty in North Carolina. Betty, you're on the line.
Hi, Jason. Glad
Hello.
to hear you again.
Thank you.
I wanted to let you know 3 things. One, I'm getting the word out with the films I have bought. And my podiatrist, he's got 4 brothers that are doctors. They're getting them out. They've been getting reviews back from him, so that's neat. Secondly of all, I went yesterday to the heart clinic to get my heart checked. Mm-hmm. And they have a scan there. I wasn't really paying attention. I was half asleep. Mm-hmm. And the lady there told me to wash my hands with sanitizer, place my right hand on this machine, and it scanned my whole, scanned everything.
Yeah, it's the new way that they take fingerprints and they database you. They did this to Rob Dew. Again, no charges brought against him, a different process for protesters. It's the new digital way to get your biometric information, and they're going to be doing this at your local health clinics, at your checkups, and of course by the police, military, and now these privatized security forces. The control grid is ever encroaching, and it is here. I thank you for the call, Betty. Let's go to Wilson in Florida. Wilson, you're on the line.
Yes, good afternoon, Jason. I'm extremely delighted that you're filling in for Alice, because I love how you mix your intellect and humor at the same time.
Well, thank you.
I wanted you to comment on me, because I was actually thinking about joining the National Guard because I'm a college student. I just moved to Florida, and it's hard for me to pay for college. I'm thinking about joining the National Guard, but at the same time, I'm a devoted listener and follower of all the news that you guys report. So do you think that's...
I'm kind of conflicted on this. You know, we need good people like yourself in the military, absolutely, and you can only help by being in the military. However, you know, I don't want to put you in a position, and I almost joined the National Guard before I woke up. I'd taken the ASVAB tests. I went with my buddy who did join the National Guard, and, you know, he ended up being deployed into Iraq. This is back in, I believe, 99, 2000, and I was much like you. You know, I didn't have a lot of money. I was going to college. I'm like, well, you know, it's a couple months a year and one weekend a month. This is something that I can do. It'll give me discipline. It'll put me in better physical condition. But is it really going to put us in better physical condition when they're mandating that you must take the H1N1 shot if you are indeed in the military, National Guard included? And now, you know, some military personnel had protested taking a mandatory anthrax shot, and that was just shot down. That's about to go to the Supreme Court, and I don't really have a lot of confidence that the Supreme Court is going to uphold, you know, an individual's freedom to say no to something that has, again, formaldehyde in it, squalene, and mercury. So, you know, Wilson, I would say pick up a crappy part-time job. I know it sucks flipping burgers. I was a pizza guy for almost a decade. Find something else. Do yard work, anything else. Do not join the military, man. I can't encourage people to do it. Again, we need good people in the military, but are you willing to put your health at risk? And, you know, that's a soft kill weapon. They could very well send you overseas and you could get a bullet through your head in Afghanistan and Iraq. You've got to make the decision for yourself, but I wouldn't recommend it. Thank you so much. Let's go to Matt in California. Matt, you're on the line. Yes, sir.
Hi, I was just calling basically to see if you guys could send out a message to gun rights activists and people who want to defend our Second Amendment across the country. In California, I don't know if you guys are aware, there's a bill that's on the governor's desk right now. It's called AB 962. And it's a mail-order ammo ban for the state of California. And there's also another bill in the process that was put into legislation in San Francisco from a senator out there, and his name is Mark Leno.
Well, I got to tell you, I am not aware of that, but those seem like serious and real issues. So if you could get those bill numbers down and just a brief synopsis of what they're all about, links to the subsections that specifically talk about what you just said on air, please send them to rob@infowars.com, articles at infowars.com, and writers at infowars.com, and hopefully we can get them up on the site, and we'll be talking about them next week on the program, or perhaps this weekend. Of course, Alex Jones does his show 4 to 6 p.m. Central Time, and then I follow it up with a wrap-up 6 to 9 Central Time, only at infowars.com. Thank you so much for the call, Matt, and please get that information to us. Ruth in Louisiana. Ruth, you're on the line.
Yes. Getting back to different subject matter, I would like to know what's Russia's take on us going into Iran.
It seems like it could spark up World War III. I mean, they don't want to see that at all, and I wish that Peter Dale Scott were here to answer that question, as he's, you know, much more involved in these type of in these type of politics. However, you know, I can say this: the mainstream media continues to put out the myth that Russia attacked Georgia over a year ago. Russia's this evil giant. Russia's the new enemy, when even the EU, which is a globalist organization, the European Union is basically one of these globalist wet dreams that has occurred, this consolidation of power, this move towards world government, and even their investigation also concludes that South Ossetian irregular forces violated rules of war in attacks on Georgian villages. So what they're saying is, look, Georgia went in, they're the ones that attacked, Russia wasn't going to attack, and how did they do this? They had drills going on the border. They were using Israeli and American forces as well as Blackwater types. They go in, then they blame it on Russia, then we beat the war drums against Russia and how bad they are. So I couldn't tell you, but from what I've seen, their take is if we go into Iran, this could spark World War III. Webster Tarpley talks about this a lot. Maybe we can get him on the program in the coming weeks to discuss it further. Thank you so much, Ruth. Let's go to Nick in New York. Nick, you're on the line.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I just got 3 simple questions, if you may.
Okay.
One, where is the governor of Montana?
That's
Secondly,
a good question. I don't think he's weighed in. The Attorney General has now weighed in.